Hello, my fine friends at SeemsGoodMagic.com. This is Travis Simulant Sowers, and we are jumping into a Legacy Cube Phantom Draft League. It'll be a little different experience from the Legacy Cube drafts of the past, because knowing that we took a card doesn't necessarily mean that our opponent doesn't have it, but I'm interested in the format and excited to see how this works out. And boom, here we are. I'm used to seeing Planeswalkers and getting excited and being like, oh yeah, we're going to first pick a Planeswalker, and then I remember this is Legacy Cube. And I can kind of pick whatever I want and do whatever I want. There's like a million different ways you can go. So Burn is a thing, Hate Bears is a thing, White Weenies is a thing, Reanimator is a thing. You can kind of do anything you want. Like even saying something like the best cards here are is a bit disingenuous, isn't it? Like, Serum Visions, what can you get better for 1 mana? And even, you know, most recent Chandra, aside from the one we have coming in Kaladesh, it's pretty good. It's not really something that's saying, take me, I'm super powerful. So I could take a land, I could take an Eternal Witness, I could take a Scavenging Ooze and see if we make a Hate Bears deck. I could even take a Relic Warder, that might be fun. But I'm kind of tempted to do something stupid with Eternal Witness. I always like playing green. Stroke of Genius is fun. Phyrexian Arena might be fun. But I'm just going to start out with an Eternal Witness. With a pack like this, you kind of just pick what you want to do and see where you can go. And like being able to just recur stuff with this card is a lot of fun. I assume, I haven't looked at the cube changes, which I should probably do if I'm going to treat this competitively. But I wasn't really planning on doing that. Like if the Splinter Twin combo is still in there, we could take an Imperial Recruiter and do things with that. That could be fun. What does this even do? Horsemanship. Sacrifice it, return target black card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, so it's just a 3/2 evasive. That's interesting. We could take Talia and again do the maybe green-white Hate Bears thing. That actually seems kind of fun, and I don't see people draft aggressive decks very often. It doesn't really go with the Witness though. But like I don't see anything here that does. That's like you have to be in the same deck with the Witness other than the Recruiter. And you know, a lot of times when I draft these, I try to do complicated and difficult things. Let's actually just try to draft a beatdown deck if it presents itself. If I can do it, then we'll do that. If I can't, that's all right. That's all right. Mirari's Wake wants me to go do stupid things. I don't know if I want to go do stupid things when I can just take an O-Ring. I mean, it's a little harder to cast if you're going to do the Thalia thing, isn't it? That doesn't mean I have to do the Thalia thing just because I grabbed one. The Eternal Witness doesn't necessarily go in the same deck either, but I think you know what, let's go for it. Let's take the white cards and see if white beatdown is still a deck here, because it certainly was in the iteration before this, and it was a lot of fun. How does this work? Can I have a copy of both of them? I don't even know. I'm not sure that I would want it, because that should almost assuredly wheel. That's like one of the better duels if you're trying to do shenanigan-y things, but like we could just take a Den Protector and have an Eternal Witness and a Maternal Witness. I don't hate what's going on there. Could take Dungeon Geists. Yeah, this is an interesting cube because there's not like any card pulling me in a particular direction. I thought with the idea of Hate Bears that we'd do something like maybe wheel the thing, and by the thing I mean the ooze, the Scavenging Ooze. That could be fun. Like presumably we'd want to get some dudes of Rampage, but like that's part of what you do with Hate Bears is get a bunch of stuff out and then Ravages of War once you're ahead. May even be able to pick up an Armageddon. Like ideally we get some mana elves to make that a thing that's worth doing, but that's a classic green-white strategy, or at least a classic white strategy. Wrath of God, Genesis Wave. Oh, still a Frost Titan here. That's a powerful card. Mindbender made it in. Welcome aboard. Could take the Gargadon. That's fun. Trample and Lifelink is enough that's relevant. And we can just continue taking value dudes. A Blinker would be pretty good in our deck now too. I don't think we want Wrath of God in a creature-based aggressive deck. It's not really aggressive though if I don't get any 2-drops, is it? Cloud Goat Ranger's good. Maybe green's just not open and I should just be doing white things. I just wonder exactly what you're supposed to do with the Ravages of War if you don't pull that together, but Cloud Goat's fine. White creatures and tokens themes. Yeah, so like we could already use a Restoration Angel or a Flicker Wisp or kind of something that would flicker these dudes. There's a theme coming here. I'm not quite sure exactly what it is, but there's a theme coming here. Some sort of Anthem effect would be fine too. Swords to Plowshares would be nice. Don't know that we're Ravaging, but we might. Baneslayer's like a good finisher for an expensive deck. What do? You put it. You're an Anthem effect, aren't you? And a cat. You guys may not be aware that I'm a big Ajani fan. Yeah, it's neg 1, so it's like a 4-mana Anthem. It also gains your life, which is kind of pointless. Like, I know Baneslayer is good, so if we ended up in a ramp strategy, that could be fun. But I kind of like taking Ajani and seeing if we can do some weenie stuff. So here's the real difficult pick. Like, I could easily be mono white. Like, this card just wrecks Reanimator. This card's just nice, fine removal. And the Relic Warder's fitting in with the Hate Bear theme I was talking about doing. Yeah, I don't see a reason to kind of get off the white train right now. Like, we have these cards and they're here, and we're aware that they exist. But we got all this too. I don't think I want Oust. I'm going to take the Needle Spires here. Actually, I guess I could end up like doing a black-white tokens theme if we sing like Lingering Souls. So sure, let's grab that. Seeker's fine for what it does. I mean, there's a possibility we ended up Boros, I guess. Because even if we're like playing black-white, I don't think we would want Tassiger. Marshall Coop. It makes chickens. It doesn't really make chickens. Maybe we end up green-white. We'll see. The Blood Artist is interesting too, but I kind of like where we're going here. I mean, that's a lot of equip costing. Since there's a possibility we go black-white, I'm going to take the Murderous. Actually, I meant to take the Murderous cut, but apparently... Huh. This is not going quite how I had planned. I grabbed the wrong card, but we will live with it. Precinct Captain is kind of fun for a little dude that can make a lot of dudes. Dark Confidant would probably be good if we were 100% black, but I think I'm digging the white weenie thing. A lot of lands in this pack. I have to see what we wheel. Like, I'm sort of set up mana-wise to be able to pull off the black-white thing. If I saw a fetch, I could pretty easily do it. Shelldock Isle is very powerful in Cube. Any format where you're going to have 40-card decks, this card is just kind of absurd. I'm going to take the Precinct Captain. I think I'm down with some white weenie action. Mirror Entity can be very good in weenie decks. If we're continuing the Hate Bear theme, I could look at this, but I just haven't seen a solid reason to be anything other than white yet. Like Mirror Entity and Linvala are my things here. I would obviously like more 2-drops. Wouldn't mind some of the white 1-drops if they're still in here. I think I can probably do more damage with a Mirror Entity. There's a Sorin. That's another... that's another Anthem for us. There's also an Emeria Angel. Like, it shouldn't be that hard to run Sorin. I've already got 2 fixers here, and if I get like any fetch that could find this, like say that Verdant Catacombs, which I suppose could wheel, I'm going to be a little greedy here and take it. I think we need some Anthem style effects to be able to do something with a deck like this. I would like Silverblade, Dargon Slayer, Wasteland, but I think I just need to take Path here so that we have some form of removal for blockers. And I think if the Dargon Slayer, the Paladin, the Wasteland, or the Kitchen Finks wheels, we would probably play it. Some love for Garrick Relentless, at least noticing the Shriek Maw, but like we could pseudo splash this. Like, we're 1 black fetch away from being able to just run that easily and not worry about it. I would like something like a Lingering Souls or a Spectral Procession, especially now that I've got 2 Anthemish things. A Blink creature would be quite useful too. All right, so we've got Port, Secure the Wastes, and Ranger of Eos. We don't have any 1-drops to get currently. This doesn't fetch out Godless Shrine, so I think I'm probably just going to take Secure the Wastes. It gives us a little bit of flood insurance, I suppose. I'd love Ranger of Eos if we had something to do with it. It doesn't really want to be in the same deck as Ravages of War, but like the idea with something like this is you try to get ahead and then slam that and you're done. So Elspeth would obviously be very good for us as well. The Arid Mesa would be good because it fixes our mana. Thoughtseize is not a bad thing to have, but I mean, we're not going to have it turn 1. I think Elspeth is just so good for white weenie decks that I'd rather just take it. Like, it makes dudes into a threat, threatens to ultimate. Make me take the next fetch that I see. Because, like, if we can't fetch the Godless Shrine, we're just going to make our mana bad. Okay, I'll do it. You talked me into it. I wouldn't mind a Phyrexian Revoker in this deck, but, like, here we go. Our mana's good. There's just no reason to have bad mana. And that's the perfect duel, obviously. Like, we can even put a Swamp in the deck and then just have plenty of sources. And could play other black cards, we'll see. But I like doing, like, aggressive, proactive things in Cube. I mean, hell, I like doing everything in Cube. I like to dirtle, too. I can dirtle with the best of them. Most of the time in Cube, I'll try to go for some combo like Splinter Twin or Reanimator. But when you're first stepping into a new cube, sometimes it's fun to just sit down and kill all their stuff and beat them to death with weenies. Consul's Judgment's a fine removal spell. Like, you can just kill a permanent, and I think our mana will be good enough to support this. If we were full-on black-white, I might be interested in connections, but right now we can be unconnected. I think we're just basically black-white splashing Sorin. And a Johnny may make it in there. May not. We'll see. We'll see. Clifftop Retreat wheeled. Basically everything we didn't want wheeled. Which is interesting. I mean, Tropical Island's like one of the best cards in the cube, right? And Hate Drafting's just irrelevant. I guess I'll take the Retreat. Who knows what we could end up with. Linvala wheeled. I don't mind that. We're getting a little stuck at 4. But she may just be better than a Johnny. Like, I ended up with another better Planeswalker. I'm sorry, Johnny. Wow, the Emiria Angel too? Okay, yeah, we'll have to cut something, but I'm certainly willing to do that. Like, this is a creature that gives us more creature. Because it comes with all these birds. Wield the Wasteland and the Paladin? What? I think my mana's good enough to run a Wasteland, but this guy can be such a big deal. Oh god, I don't know what I want. I've only got 5 seconds. I'm not going to be short creatures, and I'll probably be happy to have that Wasteland. Alright, still no love for the Ranger, so we've basically got to pick 1 and 2 drops over everything else if I'm going to be anything close to aggressive, which is fine, we can do that. Alright, so we've got Banishing Light, Anguish Unmaking, Restoration Angel, and Westvale Abbey. Would play Westvale Abbey. But I'm getting stuck on 4, but I've already got some neat combos with the Restoration Angel, right? Like, we can bounce here. We can reset this dude. We can save something. We've got a Blade Splicer. I'm not going to not take it. I'm not going to not take it. It is too good. Restoration Angel too strong. We can cut some of these 4s. Soulfire Grandmaster's fine. Declaration in Stone is fine. A Johnny Vengeant is actually pretty good, but I don't know about the double splash. I'd have to find a lot of mana. I don't know that I can pull off a Windbrisk Heights. Like, this is mostly a 2-mana 2/2 in our deck, right? So I shouldn't seriously be thinking about that. Maybe I should just take Declaration in Stone. I could take the Badlands and be ready for a red splash with all of this. Or I could just take the Declaration in Stone and be like, you know what, we're going to kill the thing. This could be okay, but like, I thought we were going to have a tokens theme going, and we don't. I mean, we do a little bit, but not a lot of bit. I'll play the Declaration. We both know it. There's the Spectral Procession I wanted, which kind of makes me wish I'd taken the Windbrisk Heights, but who knew? Dictate of Heliod would also be okay, but I've got a lot of anthems there. And I was just saying we need more dudes. This is just a good one for us. Let's get those Spectres. I would probably even play something like Raise the Alarm at this point, just to get a little bit more at 2. Student of Warfare is a 1-drop that we can play. And if we're going to be aggressive, it's probably one we want. There's also a Tech Edge, which I would probably run to. And I think Drana would be good in a deck like this. But again, we're very white focused with right now just splashing Sorin, which I'm fine with. We can even cut that if we want to, but I feel like the mana is just good enough to do it. And I'll take a Student of Warfare. This guy's great. You need it on turn 1, but like a lot of our cards are ones that you would want on turn 1. Like with Path, Declaration, Council's Judgment, and Oblivion Ring, I can probably force in the Precinct Captain. And we're going to have to cut at least 2 of these 4-drops, I think. Which is probably a Johnny and maybe Linvala. No, Linvala's really good. Sometimes you just need him to shut up. And she does that. Well, this is an interesting pack. And it looks like somebody else is going along with the plan we are. I could see Reckoner being okay. It's just not particularly amazing. It gives us another 3-drop. It can attack and block. I can't sell myself on anything over the Metamorph, though. Like, just a 3-mana copy, the best thing on the board. Okay. I'll do that. If we need a 3-drop, why not take this? Boros Reckoner is always going to be Boros Reckoner. Phyrexian Metamorph could very easily be something better. Come on, give me like 1 more 2-drop. I'm not going to be too greedy. I just want like 1 2-drop. A White Knight would be great. Elspeth Sun's Champion. Assemble the Legion. That really goes more in a control deck than what we're doing. I'm trying to decide if I just want to Mutavault. Because like I've got 22 here. I'll probably find 1 more card. It'll be fine. It's getting our colored mana. Like I don't think I want a 6-drop. Maybe I do. I don't think my mana can support Assemble the Legion. And even if it could, Elspeth is not that functionally different from Assemble the Legion. Like we've got a lot of white mana symbols here that I want to hit on time, and I'm already looking at a Wasteland. I don't know if I can fit a Mutavault in. I'll take this and hope we end up not playing it. Yeah, we're kind of stuck here. Like I can take a Collective Effort, which is fine. It's a removal spell slash team pump, which could be what we want. I think that'll edge out a Johnny, which is sad. He's a cat, and I like cats, but that's just not where we are. Now this a Johnny, on the other hand, might be something we would want. We will see. I think I'd probably rather have that than Elspeth. She's like an awesome finisher in a controlling style deck, but I think we're aggressive. Are we aggressive? Like this is my creature curve. I guess with 3 2-drop or 4 2-drops, I'm not actually that aggressive. This doesn't like I'm not going to have a 2-drop in my opener every game. Could get close. I could play the Abbey. I could see that being a good top deck with the token producers we've got. And it doesn't look like it's too hard for us to get them out. Lets me cheat on lands a little bit. It's like our curve is something like this. And I think I'm going to play the Ravages. I don't know that we'll use it every time. Windbrisk Heights might get in there too. Like, we don't have to play this. It's just, are we ahead? If yes, play Ravages of War. If not, you kind of mulliganed yourself, but that's all right. It's all right. I don't think I'm aggro enough for Bone Splitter, but I don't want any of the rest of this. I could see an argument for putting it in, perhaps. Absence a fine removal spell, too. I don't know that it's worse than anything that we're playing. I mean, it may be better to play this over the Ravages, but I think I want to main deck the Ravages and take it out if it's bad. Is Reckoner better than anything in here? I don't think so, because that's really a 3-drop. I don't think so. Yeah, I think I'm just pretty happy to run this. I guess the only real question here is it even worth it to splash for Sorin? Because my replacement level card would probably be a Johnny. So, like, I understand that the mana is very good with the Marsh Flats and all of this. Like, we can probably just run him. I'd probably run the Marsh Flats anyway, just for the trigger for the Emiria Angel. I just don't feel like it hurts me that bad to run 2 colorless lands. Probably run the Heights too. Yeah, I'm going to add this for the basic one. I think we want to just replace plains with all of our special lands. So just take out like 5 plains. Because this gives me plenty of black sources. I'm going to be a little sad when I draw the swamp, and I don't have to run it. But it feels like it doesn't hurt that bad, because we'll still have like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 white sources. Yeah, this has got to be good. I expect we will sideboard out Sorin and Ravages in some matchups, depending on what we're up against. But I like this, and I'm actually excited about the prospect that we could play another white weenie deck. It's pretty neat, too. We could even bring this guy in if we need to. But we'll see you for round 1 in just a minute.